Hello again, guys. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm an art documenter and I'm an author of Reline, which is Ruby 2.7's new Ruby standard library, and a Ruby committer and a member of Ruby core team. And I'm Sawanobori climber. Sawanobori is a style of climbing found only in Japan and Taiwan, and includes ascent in waterfalls and gorges and traversing ravine. And this is my private waterfall, which is only 10 minutes away from my home. So as you can see, if I sleep on a rock wall, it's a matter of life and death. Climbers use a lot of tricks to gain friction. This is even more so when Sawanobori that were always wet and slippery. Fibers are best suited for wet rocks. You can get excellent friction even on slimy wet rock. These are called waraji and were made from natural straw. Japanese people have been eating rice for most of our history and have a large amount of rice straw, which they have used to make shoes. Waraji are made of rice straw, which is great for gain friction, but has a disadvantage of being fragile. This is a felt sandal designed for Sawanobori and were available in Japanese climbing shops. Felt is less abrasive than straw, but it has better friction on wet rock and it's perfectly strong. This is homemade sandal made from polypropylene rope and fabric. A good fabric will give more strength and friction than felt. This is gunte. You can easily buy these work gloves at the nearly 60,000 convenience stores in Japan's small land mass and get the strongest friction than climbing on wet rocks. As I recall, it was 300 yen for 12 pairs. That's 25 yen for this pair. You can buy it with a quarter coin. Sawanobori is a combination of survival and climbing. In other words, bad to do. And Sawanobori climbers don't use gas or gasoline in stoves in many cases. We use bonfires to cook and get warm. Okay, today I'll talk to you about Asian nightmare. Asian cultures are full of wonders when viewed from the outside. The cultures of East Asia, in particular, will seem strange to you from distant countries. Today, I'd like to talk about specification of Unicode East Asian ambiguous. Okay? Japanese characters are very different from the Latin alphabet. They don't use living space between words, reading one character at a time within a square frame. And there are kana to represent the sound of tens of thousands of kanji. Early Japanese computers were not capable of handling kanji characters and used the second half of the ASCII character code to handle kana characters. Unlike the original kana, the kana were not written in a square frame, but were the same width as the alphabet, and were called hankaki kana. This means half-width kana. The purpose was not to make it usable in the existing system so that it doesn't resemble the original Japanese, but is still usable in many cases. All the kanji characters couldn't be used. Later, the PC acquired complex functions that allowed it to correctly handle the original Japanese language, but with the advent of mobile phone, only a limited number of characters could be used again. Japanese mobile phones acquires a way of communicating with limited expressive techniques. This is the birth of emoji. E of emoji. E means picture, moji means characters in Japanese, so emoji means pictogram. In the early days, emoji were half-width characters, but later, with the improvement of mobile phone performance, they gained the ability to express themselves as well as the ability to express themselves on a PC, leading to birth of many full-width emoji, which were then adapted into Unicode. In the early days, emoji characters were half-width characters, but later, with the improvement of mobile phone performance, they gained the ability to express themselves as well as the ability to express themselves like PC, leading the birth of many full-width emoji, which was then adopted into Unicode. I still remember the day emoji were adopted into Unicode. I thought they were just for fun and to express emotions. Klingon, which is a proper characters, was never adopted into Unicode, but just pictograms were. I couldn't believe it. originally, some emoji were half-width characters and some were full-width characters. However, what used to be half-width characters can be displayed as full-width characters. Did the original half-width emoji become full-width? That's not true. We need to explanation for East Asian ambiguous. Unicode's East Asian width classifies characters into several types: full width, half width, wide, narrow, neutral, and ambiguous. It's very complicated, but to explain it in a nutshell, full width and wide were roughly the same. Half width and narrow are roughly the same, and neutral is, for example, an Arabic character that is not split. It's ambiguous. That is the problem. The emojis that were originally half-width characters aren't exactly East Asian ambiguous, but they are actually treated the same, so this explains it. Most monoscaped terminals give you the option to set whether characters in the East Asian ambiguous should be displayed in full width or half width mode. If you set East Asian ambiguous to display in full width characters, then the original half width characters such as sunny emoji will be displayed in full width characters. If I set Eastern Asian ambiguous to show half width characters, they will be shown in full width characters. But this is configuration on your terminal, and the software that runs in it does not know about the East Asian ambiguous configuration. Ruby 2.7 and later come with a Reline that I developed, which is responsible for many of the new IRB features, and we implemented almost all of the complexities on the terminal. Reline checks if the setting is half width or full width by displaying a single East Asian ambiguous character right after startup. However, East Asian ambiguous need to be configured exactly the same for all those layers of software on the terminal, such as Reline and editor, and terminal multiplexers such as tmux and GNU screen, and virtual terminal software such as iTerm and Xterm. I'll show you a demonstration. This is a terminal software ML term. This left side is a configuration file of ML term. This column size of width ambiguous is 2. This means East Asian ambiguous characters should be shown full width. And right side is a configuration file of GNU screen. This CJK width is on. This means East Asian ambiguous characters should be shown full width. Both are the same settings, so if I paste a character, music sign flat, this is shown full width. This is just alphabet B. This is half width. Okay? And no problem. Working correctly. And if I change both settings to half width, this one. This is music sign flat. Music sign flat is shown half width. And this is alphabet B, half width. Okay? But ML term is half width and GNU screen is full width. In this case, this is music sign flat. Terminal must be broken. Okay? And next, ML term is full width and GNU screen is half width. In this case, terminal must be broken too. Broken. Most of the time it's off somewhere. Emojis are dangerous. East Asian ambiguous is a small part of the terminal's nightmare, and I originally intended to explain everything I could about the nightmare. However, since RubyKaigi switched to online like this, and I got tired of the unfamiliar format of submitting videos, I limited next time you see everyone again at a real event, I'll talk to you about a real nightmare of terminal. Good night, guys. Have a good dream.